Welcome to Chart of the Day Cafe for Thursday, January 12th, 2017. Just want to read our disclaimer quickly. Trading stocks is a high level of risk and viewers should complete their own due diligence on any stock or underlying that they intend to own. 100% of the content of this video and communique is intended for journalistic and educational purposes only. This video and all indicators, strategies, and articles herein should not be construed as investment advice, not making any recommendations, always for your further homework. We always start our videos off with a look at the Russell Index. We want to make sure that the overall market is moving higher before we put any featured charts forward. And for our look at the Russell, we use the IWM, which is the ETF that represents the Russell 2000. We also step back to take a look at it on a larger time frame, on the 5-year monthly, to get that broader view, which I think is so important. We were keeping an eye on this blue channel for a long time that the Russell traded within through all of 2014 and then had this little lift up and out in early 15, sold off when it hit this light blue shaded line, sold off. But price strength came right back in, and as we've been talking about, the candle for the month of November had volume and a lot of power behind it, pushing us up and over this light blue shaded line. This is the candle for the month of December, a little more indecision with a wick at the top and a wick at the bottom. And here we are so far for the month of January. Middle of January, we're trading in this little micro wedge that you'll be better able to see on the smaller time frame. So let's move away from the monthly to the 1-year weekly. And we drew this wedge in a while back, keeping an eye on it. You can see this candle from several weeks ago that anchors the wedge. And then we've got this trend line drawn in. Worth noting, as we mentioned in our Tuesday video, the doji, we're looking at the 1-year weekly, so this is the weekly candle from last week, sitting right at our trend line. So this week will be important to see if we get that follow through. So there's the weekly look. Now let's take a look at the daily look. There we go. So this was yesterday. So for us at Chart of the Day Cafe, it's all about price being up and over this blue line, which is the 8-day EMA. When price is up and over the blue on the daily chart, we will put fresh charts forward. Let me zoom it in a little bit so you can better see that price is indeed up and over the blue line, just barely, but with that, we will be putting a fresh chart forward today. So with price on the Russell continuing to show strength, we are putting a new chart forward this morning, and that new chart is RMP, Rice Midstream Partners. They are a limited partnership which owns, operates, develops, and acquires midstream assets in the Appalachian Basin area. The company is engaged in oil and natural gas gathering and processing, so they're in the energy space. You know what, Chart of the Day Cafe? It's all about value and growth. Those are two things that are musts for me. This one has a really nice value score and a forecasted earnings growth rate going forward of 26%. That's really nice. Third thing I look for, it's not a must, don't always get it, but in this case it's there, is a dividend yield. And the current dividend yield for RMP is 4.14%, PE ratio of 17.01. So with that, let's get into the chart. We're looking at the 5-year weekly chart. RMP is a relatively new company, so it only goes back to about 2014. But we're looking at the weekly. You can see this beautiful uptrend that it's been in, and then the way it's been consolidating here for a number of months. It tried to break through our area of support resistance once before and failed. But several weeks ago, it made it through and it's come back to retest this area. My orange line is just an area, it's not a precise line, but I really like the look of this chart. Should the markets continue higher, would not be too surprised to see this one go higher with it as well. So let's move it away from the weekly to the daily chart so you can better see how price is behaving. We're looking at the 6-month daily. There's that same area of support. You can see it's resting right on that area here now. Love this consolidation, the bounce and move up and over. So should the markets continue higher and show strength, wouldn't be too surprised to see RMP move up and off this orange line at some point. Sometimes you have to be patient. I know everyone has their own way of doing things. We practice 3 and 8. 3 is the pink line, 8 is the blue line. When the pink moves over the blue, we're good. When it crosses below, no longer interested. So this one, should it pick up that pink and the pink move above the blue, would be an interesting one to take a look at for your watch list. Never making any recommendations, but just think this might be one to keep an eye on and add. We also like to look at the sector that our pick is in, so let's go take a look at those energy sector charts. XLE we'll look at, which is the ETF that represents the energy sector. You can see just like, let me pull it into my simple study. You can see just like RMP that it's been in this nice uptrend at this area of support and looks like it may possibly want to lift here. So we're looking at the 2-year weekly chart. The other one I wanted to flag for you is XOP. It's another oil and gas ETF. This is more involved in the gas exploration and production. So whichever one you want to refer to, but same kind of a look, consolidated down here, broke through, and is at that area of support. You know, in preparation for these videos, I also like to put other things in front of you, and we've been looking at seasonality lately. Love this site, equityclock.com, highly recommend it. I think it's terrific. So you can see that the energy sector comes into seasonal favorability around this time of year, end of January, and has this nice run up through the next several months. No guarantee this is going to happen this year. It's all historic. Nothing's ever a guarantee, but it's kind of nice to have those things in your favor and understand them about the chart that you're looking at. I'm also going to include an article that I dug up on Insider Monkey. Hedge funds have been acquiring RMP, and so they're acquiring it at a faster clip in the last several quarters. So I'll include that article with today's video as well. I wanted to flag for you, we're looking at Finvizcom. Really like this site, it's amazing. The favorable analyst ratings for RMP, and fairly recent as well. So pretty positive ratings for this one as well. You might want to check out this and some of the articles listed below. And to summarize, let's go back and check the boxes. And as a reminder, I am not making any recommendations, just sharing my homework with you, and I do not currently own RMP. So we looked at the market by looking at the IWM. The market's in an overall uptrend, and price on the IWM is up and over the 8-day EMA on the daily chart, so we're going to check that box. We looked at the sector that RMP is in. We looked at XLE and XOP, both in an uptrend and possibly lifting off areas of support. RMP is in a long-term uptrend on the 2-year chart and possibly lifting off an area of support, emphasis on possibly. It's got, these are my 2 musts for Chart of the Day Cafe. It's got a good value score, so I've got them highlighted. It's got a great growth score with a forecasted earnings growth rate of 26%. It has a dividend yield of 4.14%, so we've got that box checked. It does not currently have a 3 and 8 EMA cross, so we'll leave that unchecked. We looked at the seasonal chart. It's got seasonality coming into favor, and we looked at that article, and hedge funds are buying, and it also has analyst support, so we're going to check that box. Also, the current PE on RMP is 17.01. Earnings, I think, are on February 22nd. I'm pretty sure that's the date, but you might want to check it. And the changing story, why it may lift off of this area is I would think that this OPEC deal and price compromise may offer a catalyst here for RMP. We'll see, but I'll include this article with today's video. Today's video, and as a reminder, the videos go out every Tuesday and Thursday morning prior to 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you like these videos, please subscribe to the channel by hitting the red button on the home page. And be sure to check out our discussion section, where at the end of every day I go through the charts and endeavor to put a little note in here about charts that we've featured in the past that look to be getting a fresh or emerging 3 and 8 EMA cross. Worth checking out. So with that, I'll leave you. Have a really great day, wonderful weekend, and we'll put a video out again next Tuesday. Thanks again.